Okay, I'm here in the Alfresco Plaza, and this is where we are going to find Gordon for the coward. Let's go ahead and talk to him. Hey, buddy. No, get back. Okay, so talk to him once, and then hit him or kick him with something. And, stay away from me. Hey, buddy. Buddy, get back here. No, listen to me, jerk. Okay. You're coming with me. I'll take you to safety. Understand? But... You heard what I said. Let's go. Okay. Okay. So now, we've got Gordon with us, and we're going to take him and Jennifer to Wonderland Plaza. Now, in Wonderland Plaza, around this time, there are a couple of unmarked survivors that appear. And so we're basically going to try to get them, go back to the safe house, do another source, and then we're going to come back and do Above the Law, which is the case that is that blue one that I was talking about. So, yeah. I'm sorry if my commentary is a little dull in this part and the last part. But, you know, this is like a really stressful time of the game. So what I'm trying to do is focus on getting everything I need to. And this is where I really wish that I did post commentary. But I just can't. I can't do that. I can't record a game, go back, and then commentate over it. I just, for some reason, that just does not work for me. But yeah, that's okay. We're going to make it. We're going to make it. We're going to save all the survivors. Everything is going to be just fine. Just fine. Jennifer, come on. You stupid fucking yellow tank top wearing son of a whatever. Okay. That's just wonderful. They were right there. They were literally right there. The detection box for these transitions is kind of dumb sometimes. Okay. So here's what we need to do now. We need to save these survivors right here that are like hanging up there. And the best thing to do here is just to use queens. But we don't have any queens, so this is where the double lariat becomes very, very, very useful. So the zombies will just close in on you, and you can just double lariat and take them out as need be. Okay. Let me go ahead and get her down first. Alright. There we go. Okay, and another source is active, so we need to hurry up and do that. Can you walk? Did I break your legs when I knocked you down? Oops, sorry. Come on. I'm fine, it's nothing. Okay, so she's gonna join us. And hopefully... Okay, that's Otis calling us, and we need to make sure we answer that. Because that's the call for another source. Okay, here's what I was saying. I spotted the girl you were talking about on the monitor here. It's out of the base before she vanished. Okay. Alright. So, we are going to hopefully make it back in time for that. That is our next goal. Oh, come on. So we gotta knock Nick down here. Alright. Now, he's gonna get pounded by zombies. We basically dropped him down to the zombies and made their life a lot easier. But, what can we do? Okay, Nick, talk to me, buddy. Talk to me. Come on. Oh, there's a queen. Alright, Nick, what's up? Nice dive, pal. You hurt? I'm alright. Take me with you. Okay, good. Now, what we need to do is hightail it to another source. And I'm thinking, yeah, the shortcut is going to be our best bet here. So, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to meet you guys at another source. Or if I fail to get there on time, which is very, very, very possible, or I fuck up something with Above the Law, then I will meet you guys back here. but let's see what happens. Well, guess what? I really fucked up. So here's what happened, basically. So when Above the Law becomes activated, when you get that call from Otis and you answer it and that case becomes activated, a countdown starts for the survivors that psychopath boss has. So there's 4 survivors that Joe, which is the name of the boss, in that case has. And once that case starts and you enter Wonderland Plaza, a countdown starts, basically, where slowly each of the survivors die. So it's kind of hard to explain, but hopefully that makes sense. So basically, by me entering Wonderland Plaza here, like I did in this part, and going and rescuing Nick and Sally, and then leaving Wonderland Plaza, when that case was activated, I ended up losing 3 survivors. So I really, really, really goofed the playthrough up. So basically what I did was, after I got Jennifer, Nick, and Sally with me, I ended up going to the safe house, I returned them, and I did the professor's past, or whatever case was activated, as you saw in the part, or was about to start. And then I went back to Wonderland Plaza after I completed that, and defeated Joe, but when I got there, surprise, surprise, there was only 1 survivor. So I had basically lost 3 survivors, because when I entered Wonderland Plaza with that case activated, it started the timer that would kill off all of the survivors. And, this is such a stupid thing, and I really should have caught this at the time, but I didn't. And so, at first I thought it was a glitch with the game, that, those 3 survivors just didn't spawn. I thought maybe I just had too many things activated at the same time, like too many survivors, like, on the map, because you can only have so many survivors. I think the cap is 8, and that includes all the active cases. But I actually looked it up online, and it turns out that this is something that happens. It's an actual thing. But, as proved by these awesome comments that I found on a thread. And, it's bullshit. Not gonna lie, it's just plain bullshit. So, what did I do after that? Well, I basically just had to replay the entire game up to the point that I was at in this part. So, because I screwed up that case and lost 3 survivors, and the goal of this playthrough is to save every single survivor and complete every single scoop, I had to restart the game and play up to the point that I was at in this part. So at first it was kind of a pain in the butt. I was upset because I had to basically redo that entire playthrough. But it honestly only took me like 2 hours to play from the start of the game up to where I was at. And the reason for this, I think, is because, I had already done it, by recording the parts that I've uploaded so far. And so I kind of knew what I was doing. Going into this playthrough, I was completely, going off of memory, because I didn't do, a practice playthrough or anything for this. But it wasn't that bad, honestly, and I did a lot of things differently and more efficiently, I guess I could say. So, what I want to do is basically catch you up to what I did different in this new playthrough, because the playthrough that I redid is what's going to be played for the rest of the game, or the rest of this Let's Play, I guess. So, I started out at level 22 this time, because when you start a new game, you continue off of the character that you already had from whatever file you had already done, if that makes sense. So I was starting at level 22 or something like that, and I saved every survivor up to the point where I was at, and I ended up at level 35. And I'll go over that in part 8, all the new moves and stuff, stats that I have. So that's something I'll cover in the next part. But I want to just go over things that I did differently and basically tell you what I did to make saving all the survivors more efficient up to where I was at. So everything was basically the same as how I did it in the original playthrough up until about case 1-4, which is a temporary agreement. So I completed that, and then I had like that period of time before case 2-1 becomes activated, which I think is Imogen the monitor. So at that point, I had Shadow of the North Plaza activated, which is the scoop for the survivor David. So I went over to North Plaza, I grabbed him, and then I went and killed the convicts, which I kind of had a pain in the butt time with that because I didn't have any weapons. And there was a point where, like, I ran out of weapons, I was trying to kill them, and I had to actually backtrack to the gun store and get guns and then kill them, but it really wasn't that big of a deal. But I saved David and killed the convicts way before Imogen the Monitor became activated. And so what I did was I had to wait like 20-30 minutes for Imogen the Monitor to become activated. And if you recall, in the original playthrough, before Imogen the Monitor started, I was still saving Leia and the Barricade pair. So I was already way ahead in this new playthrough. I was knocking stuff out like crazy. So after I waited 20 minutes for Imogen the Monitor to become activated, I completed that scoop. I went ahead and defeated Carlito in Rescue the Professor, and I did that really quickly with a chainsaw. I was actually pretty impressed. So then after that, I headed over to Xi'an's, whatever, food and stuff, the supermarket, and defeated Steven, got the medicine, and Steven went down really quick as well with that chainsaw. And speaking of the chainsaw, I actually picked up a book in, I think it was the same store that the Japanese pair was in. I don't have any footage of that because I started recording after that, but this book basically increases the duration of any bladed weapon that you can get, like, by 3 times. So bladed weapons last 3 times longer. And that was extremely useful, and I will keep that for the rest of the Let's Play. So, after I defeated Steven, I went ahead and completed Lovers. So I had Ross and Tanya with me, and I took them with me to complete Medicine Run. And after that, I immediately went and did The Coward, or whatever the name of that scoop was, that has the survivor Gordon. So, if you recall in the playthrough, in the original playthrough, in the parts that I uploaded, I think I saved Heather and Pamela, which are the 2 unmarked survivors, and I did Professor's Past before I did The Coward, but this time it was kind of reversed. So I saved Gordon, or I got Gordon with me, and I think after that I took him back to the safe house. Then I grabbed Heather and Pamela, had them both with me, and I saved them, and then I did Professor's Past. So everything was really good. I was definitely way ahead still at that point. Then I went and did the scoop that has the boss fight with Cliff, and he went down not really faster than the other times. It was about the same amount. That boss fight is still really annoying, and I didn't really knock him out faster. So after I defeated him, I got his survivors and headed back over to Paradise Plaza, where I did photo challenge. So I showed my picture to Kent, and then I grabbed Ronald from the Paradise Plaza. So that was, I think, the Scoop restaurant man. And I kind of made it a split-second decision after I got Ronald. I decided that I was going to... At first, I was going to try to wait for Jennifer to spawn, which is the survivor that's with the cult members in Paradise Plaza. But I realized that I had too many survivors going on at the same time. So what I did was I took Ronald and Cliff's survivors and headed over to Wonderland Plaza and completed Above the Law. Now, the only bad thing I had happen this entire replay for this new playthrough was on my way to Above the Law. When I was in Wonderland Plaza, I accidentally shot and killed one of the survivors. I had my sniper rifle, and the survivor had gotten grappled by a zombie, and I was trying to shoot the zombie off of the survivor, but I accidentally hit the survivor and killed him. So I had to replay from a certain point, but it wasn't that bad. So, anyways, after I got back to that point, I got all the survivors to Above the Law and defeated Joe, and all 4 of her survivors were there. So everything was A-okay. Now, this boss fight, I don't recall if I showed it in any of the playthrough, like any of the parts that I've uploaded so far of this Let's Play. But if I didn't show the cutscenes, I'm sorry. It's not really... I guess they are kind of entertaining, but basically Joe is a psychopath cop. She's crazy. She's molesting women. And she has, like, her 4 hostages. And after we beat up on her for a little bit, she dies a very violent death. And we get her 4 survivors to save, I guess. Okay, so moving on from that, I had 8 survivors with me at this point. Ronald, Cliff's 3 survivors, and then the 4 survivors from Above the Law. And I got them all back to the safe house, saved them, everything was awesome and good, all before another source even started. So, I did amazingly at this, this redo playthrough. I was really impressed with myself. So, after I saved all of those survivors, I headed back into Paradise Plaza, activated the cutscene with the cult members, defeated all of them, grabbed Jennifer, took her over to Wonderland Plaza where Nick and Sally were, and I knocked them out. Well, I knocked them down, I guess. What a lame joke. Anyways, I had them with me, and then I ended off, like, I stopped playing at that point in Wonderland Plaza with Nick, Sally, and Jennifer. So, that's where I'm going to start the next part at. And I'm starting out with everything good. So, everything up to this point in the Let's Play is okay, perfect, all the survivors are saved, and the most stressful point in this game is done and over with, and the rest of the game, I in my opinion, is pretty smooth sailing. So, yep, that's pretty much all I gotta say for the time being. This part 7, is gonna be a little weird because it's like a little bit of me actually playing the game, and then most of the part's gonna be me recapping how I messed up this entire playthrough, and what I did to fix it, and how I did it better. So, yep. Yeah, that's going to be it for part 7. If you like this video, please feel free to like, subscribe, do all that other good stuff. And I will see you guys in the next part where everything will hopefully be back to normal. So, see you guys then.